So imagine we're at a PLC meeting and we have our 4 friends and they are working through looking at some math standards. And so for our story here, let's imagine that we have a 1st grade teacher, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And they're at a PLC and they're looking at their data. Now they get standardized test data saying their students are not very strong at operations and algebraic standard 4. So they go right to the curriculum data and they say, well, what's happening? And they run a report in their, using their curriculum mapping software, which is a searchable and analyzable database. And what that report shows them is with their data, they have affirmation of exactly how they want their standard to be taught in a given sequence. So let's say this number would represent how many times it is mastered or expected to be at a level of application. And this represents how many times it is introduced and reinforced. So what this would show us is affirmation. Introduction is going down. Reinforcement is strong. And mastery or application is going up. That's what this data would show. But what if their curriculum data, when they ran it in their software for 4th grade, showed that they had to introduce it a whole lot more in 4th grade? What would that mean? And how would that conversation go? Let's check in with our friends. This is not like Survivor. They don't get to vote 4th grade off the island. They get to say, 4th grade, we found the problem. You're doing it wrong. You can't have a knee-jerk response to data like that. So instead, in a PLC, we have to examine what's happening. We have to talk about it and bring more pieces of data. So let's say we go to 3rd grade, our 3rd grade teacher, and we say, 3rd grade, you had mastery for so much, and yet 4th grade had to introduce. Can you talk to us? Let's get some perception data. What was going on those assessments? What was it like? And the 3rd grade teacher says, you know what? It was like pulling teeth. I had to walk them through every single piece. It took weeks more than I thought it would. Wow. Well, let's look at the assessments that 4th grade has and 3rd grade, and let's check what we have there. Maybe 3rd grade, if you had more time to introduce, they wouldn't have had that experience. 1st grade and 2nd grade, instead of moving to mastery so quickly, is this the kind of thing you could do more introduction, strengthening this standard so that 3rd grade doesn't have so much trouble expecting mastery so soon? Because by going through that process, 4th grade ended up having to start all over and introducing more. 1st grade, 2nd grade can agree to do what's called a faculty-wide revision, increasing the time they spend on introduction and reinforcement and not jumping to mastery so fast, saving everyone instructional time. Yay! Scooby-Doo ending. Let's do that, rewind, and let's let 4th grade and 3rd grade have different answers. 3rd grade, how's that going on that mastery piece right there? How are the students doing? Oh, they're doing great. They're doing fantastic, actually. They are just flying through that material. I could have done more. Oh, 4th grade, why are you finding yourself introducing it? Oh, well, the truth is, when I showed it to them, they looked like they didn't even recognize it. They said I had potatoes growing out of my ears. Let's take a look at that assessment. We might have a vocabulary issue here. If 3rd grade is asking for this standard in one way, And the fourth grade teacher's curriculum is asking for it in another way. We're just not doing transfer right. We could just change those assessment questions or make sure we overtly teach it to the kids that this is a change in how this standard is going to look. If you didn't do that, you may have thought you had to start all over again when really you didn't. Can we make that adjustment? That's between the third and the fourth grade teacher. Faculty-wide revision. Yay! Scooby-Doo ending. Let's see what happens if we change it one more time. So third grade, how's that going with those mastery assessments you're expecting here? Third grade says it's fine. They're doing good. It's no problem. Fourth grade, perception data. Talk to me a little bit about why you're doing introduction. Oh, well, the series I use, my math series, has a natural spiral built in, and so it just has us revisit those materials again and again. It's just a natural part of the process. Third grade, how much do you feel your students are actually at the mastery level? No, I'd put my stake behind that. I have evidence of student work. Fourth grade, if you do that assessment at the mastery level to confirm the children are actually at that level, you can get 2 more weeks of instructional time back and go deeper, or take it in a different direction, or focus on another assessment if you want. Yay! This is a PLC discussion where faculty are working with 2 types of data. Student achievement data about a standard's performance, and then curriculum data. How and when do they overtly teach a given standard, and what kind of level they're working at. This is just one example of how to bring it together. They also used perception data, which was a third type, surveying the faculty. It doesn't always have to be a formal survey. It can just be in a PLC discussion.